Hey, what's up, Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and it's November 22nd, 2019, and you know what? I haven't changed my intro music. Yeah, okay, well, we are back. We are live. Welcome back, each and every one of you. It's been a minute. I didn't get to live stream last week. I informed you guys last week that I was probably not going to be able to, and that's, life. That's life. But I am back, and I'm better than ever. Hey, have you noticed, do I look like I've lost 25 pounds? Because I have. Yep, doing the keto diet, learning that, having fun with it. I don't know if I'd call it fun, but, if you're losing weight, all good, and I like to do it. CG, hey, what's up, man? How are you doing? Simon, what's up? That's live. That's right. I look like I lost 25.2, but it's pretty good. Maybe the jet lag is getting to you there. Oh yeah, wow! It is great to be back. I'm going to be talking about matte boxes a little bit today, to kind of fix a little confusion that seems to be going out there as the internet is flooded with the Polar Pro matte box. And I just want to kind of dispel a few rumors and myths and inaccuracies that are out there. We'll get to that. Who else is out there? Say hello. CG, man, how's your world? How's you say your world's turning upside down? That's good. That's good. Oh, CG, I wasn't talking about this for you. I was talking about this for everybody. Everybody's got the bug right now because they see a budget priced matte box and they're going to town on it, but it's going to cost them a lot in the long run. They just don't know it, and we'll get to that. Kevin Kelly, howdy, Kevin. How are you? How's Dallas, right? How's Dallas treating you? Did you get the cold front we just got? We got it this morning. Whew. Man, YouTube, I swear, every time, there's always something on Friday. The whole week could be bliss and wonderfulness on the internet. Friday rolls around, all kinds of stuff. This morning, my internet was down. Then I had one of my network devices decide to throw a packet flood out there and just took my entire network down internally. I had to fix that. Then YouTube switched my time zone to Pacific. So every time I'd go out there and schedule it for 4 o'clock, it would change it to like now because it kept saying no, but it was saying 3:40. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. It took me forever to figure out that they had done that. Then it would work. Then I could actually go to my my actual live stream and do it. But I guess they're not going to let me link now to the actual live stream. I have to link to the public video. I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe it'll all be for the better. Who else is out there? Say hello. Say good morning, good afternoon, or wherever the world has you. My voice. I was looking back at videos on the 10-year challenge on Facebook, and I wanted to do a 20-year. So I found an old video from 20 years ago. My voice, it was really high pitched like this. It didn't sound right at all. And I know I didn't have a high pitched voice back then. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Tim Hyatt, how are you? How's the world of Kessler? All good up there. Nice and cold. You got some snow on the ground? I think you do. Also, Tim, maybe you could get me some live support while I'm on there. I haven't forwarded back on Chaos Software. I asked a question a while back about when I program a move and it tracks the move. I'd like it to return back to 0 following the move, so it doesn't like plow through whatever I'm shooting. And I got a response back. I'm not sure who responded. They said, yeah, if you go into the menu on the right and you could choose reverse settings through reverse through slow speed or high speed or straight through. But I can't select that. The reason I can't select it, it says you can't choose the reverse can't choose reverse if the camera control is active. And I don't see anything that is camera control. So I can't select that. So can you, if you have a moment, see if you can get an answer. That's what we're doing here. We're doing live support for Scott. Kevin Kelly, Dallas is in the 40s now. It was 80 on, yeah. This morning, it was at 5:30. I was up eating eggs and bacon with my wife for our wonderful keto diet, and it was warm outside and humid. And then when she left for work at 6, it was cold. It just blows in really, really fast. So let's get started. We got enough people on here that are happy and smiley and everything. Polar Pro just released their new matte box called Basecamp. They also released one called Summit. Basecamp is basically a one-stage matte box, and Summit is a 3-stage matte box. I want to show what matte boxes are, just briefly, just a rundown here. So I have all Bright Tangerine. I love Bright Tangerine. I'm not sponsored by Bright Tangerine, but I just have a lot of their gear because I love it. And one of these I have on loan for a review coming shortly. But so this is the Misfit Atom. I've talked about this one numerous times. It's a clamp-on type, or you can put rods and whatever. It's flexible rubber. It's simple, and it holds filters, standard 4mm. And that's what I want to talk about. Get out of there. Come on. Really? There we go. This is a standard cinema filter. This one happens to be a Firecrest IRND. Notice it is thick. Let's see if we can. There we go. It's hard to see there. Definitely the colors are bad. This is thick. It's 4mm thick. This is a standard 4 by 5.65 inch cinema filter. There are literally thousands and thousands of options in this format. Thick, 4mm, 4 by 5.65. They're also in 5.65 by 5.65. There's 4 by 4. There's 6 by 6, but standard. You can get every flavor of the rainbow you want in a filter. You can get gradient filters, you can get ND filters, you can get colored filters, you can get effects filters, you can get special effects filters that like close down. All of these are available by all kinds of companies out there. This filter right here, I've owned it for 4 years. I can own this filter for 20 years. And I can use this on this matte box. I can use it on this matte box. I can use it on this matte box. I can use it on any brand of matte box that uses standard cinema filters. The Polar Pro does not use standard cinema filters. They use 2mm filters. 2mm thick is photography class filters. Now, that's not a huge deal. That's not the end of the world that they're thinner. That just means that they're less structurally strong, although, I mean, they're glass. They can still break, but they're not as durable. Where they get you is, so here, and I'm doing this because everybody's got one of the Polar Pros, and they're all reviewing it. And I'll get into that story in a minute. This is the story of a girl. This is a tray. This is a filter tray. Now, most matte box manufacturers will sell filter trays. You take the filter, you place it into the tray, you lock it in through whatever mechanism that they have. But I've bought this filter. I can use this filter on any matte box. This tray is for this matte box, or in case of Bright Tangerine, any of their others that use stages this way. That is a standard way of using it. Polar Pro takes their 2mm non-standard ND filters, which, by the way, Polar Pro filters are fine. I've used them on the DJI Mavic and other small things back where they first started, and they're fine. They're optically they're fine, but they enclose them in their own filter case, and you can't remove it. Which means to use the Polar Pro Bandcamp or Summit, you must buy their ND filters, not anybody else. Which now means you can only use filters that they make. Which means if you go out and you're like, oh, I really love the Tiffin Soft Effects filter, but Polar Pro doesn't make that, you don't get to use it. You have instantly limited yourself. Now, say you're in the industry, you're starting out and you're like, but I'm on a budget, Scott. I can't afford a whole plethora of cinema filters. I get it. That's fair. And you can definitely buy cheaper filters. But you buy at least a standard matte box that will work with standard filters, and buy cheaper filters. Because what happens is you buy that Polar Pro, and if you ever plan on expanding, or if you ever want to use any other filter, you have to buy another filter matte box, and you got to buy all the filters again. You just bought it twice. And you didn't just buy the filters twice. You bought the matte box twice. That is not affordable, and that's not what I preach around here. And that's what if you go back and watch my matte box video from 2 years ago, buy it once, buy it right. It doesn't matter if it's Bright Tangerine. I love Bright Tangerine, but if you don't, that's fine. Buy any other matte box, but buy one that's standardized so that you can buy filters, and you just collect the filters over the years. A good DP or cam op will have a case of 30 or 40 filters, may have hundreds in the back, but those 30 or 40 filters are what they use, and they know that they can rely on, and they're going to go on any matte box that's standard. So if you have questions, Abel, hey, how are you? If you have any questions while I'm going here, I'm just kind of talking, kind of getting the conversation going. But if you have any questions along the way, speak up. Happy to answer them. So this is the Misfit Atom, and it's kind of funny because it has this rubber sunscreen, and that's what this is. So if you've ever wondered what this is, it's a hood, and all it's designed to do is to cut reflections. So when you got a piece of glass right here, and then you got a light that is able to hit it right here, you will have a reflection on your glass, which means you're going to get some kind of negative effect on your image. Now, you may want that, which is perfectly fine. Don't put the hood on. But what this does is, right now I can hit the glass, boop, now I can't. I can't hit the glass. And it's not designed to be giant. There are giant ones. If you need to cover from a lot of lights that are happening from the side, that happens sometimes, depending on how you have to light or where the sun is. But this is just a nice matte box hood. That's all it's for. And this one, like I said, it clamps on. You use a ring that you screw on to your lens, and then this just clamps on. Or, as you see on this one, there is a 15mm lightweight rod system, and that can then go right onto your rod system. Now, the way the Misfit works, it doesn't use those filter stages. You can put two in here. They just stack right here in the front, and they're clamped on the top. So they won't fall out, but they're just stacked right up against each other. Now, this is called the Clash 138, and this is actually before they have renamed it. They have now renamed it, and it is now called the Misfit Atom Pola Plus. Now, what the Misfit Atom Pola Plus is it's the Misfit Atom, but here's the cool thing. Remember how to get it out here. There is, oh yeah, I've got it clamped. There we go. Okay, so here's an idea also of a, but found the glass. No, there we go. This is called a black hole. All it is a donut. It's just designed to go around the lens itself to completely black out what is behind it. And this is okay, by the way. I didn't break it. Seems like I did, but I didn't. See? All better. This is a circular polarizer. Now, what's cool about this one is in the back, you put in your circular polarizer. I want to make sure I get this one in right. It goes in this way, yes. Now, what you can do is on the side right here, there is a lever. It is rotating. Can't really see it. Maybe you can see it from above. There we go. Ooh, that's super bright. See this lever right here? You can kind of see it rotating. Here, let's do this. Let's put an SD card right there. Wow, focus. See how it's rotating? So now you can rotate your polar filter or your circular polarizer, and you can stack in your filters in front just like the other one. Let me put this on real quick because I don't want it to fall out again. Man, they'll never loan me equipment. So this is the former Clash 138. Now it's the Misfit Pola Plus. So you still get 2 filters that you can put in the front, plus you get the polarizing filter in the back, which is nice because now you have this super compact, super lightweight version, but you get a rotatable polarizer. Because what you'd had to do on this one, it's kind of hilarious, is you put the polarizer filter in there and you're like, oh, I need to rotate with the sun. That's how I had to do it. Now this one right here, let me pull this one out. That's my filter stage. This is called the Viv by Bright Tangerine as well. And there are 2 stages on this one. So I put one here and one here. This first stage is actually rotatable. So that's how you do circular polarizers there. This also has a top flag or a French flag. And what this is designed to do, you got a top light, same thing. If it's hitting your lens, you can put this flag down and kind of block, say you're shooting right towards the sun's almost setting, but you can pull this flag down and block just enough of it from hitting the lens. Also, if you're coming off from the side, you can extend out the top as well. Now, they make sides as well. Like I was saying, if you happen to be on a set where you have a lot of lights from the side, you may need those sides. I've never needed them. But this one, it can clamp on, or it can do lightweight, or it can do studio. It can do 19 millimeter rods. It also has the swing away option, so it can swing away from your rod system while you can actually go from the back. You can mount any kind of blackening, what was the term, matte in the back. So this one has the black hole that they call it. And you can put a black hole on here, or I use the screw-on filter threads, or you can use clamp-on, whatever you want to do, but you can't have any light shine through. Any light that shines through will get into your lens and you'll get reflections. So let me pause and read some questions and see where we are here. Simon says he wants to go back to Africa where it's nice and warm. I bet it's a little warm. Yeah, Simon just got back on assignment out there. He was doing some work. Tim says, that's pretty weird. Might be something we need to set up a time to walk through together. Have any time on Monday afternoon we can block out? Yeah, you pick it. Abel says, hello. CG says, what brand filters do you like? Anything and everything, honestly. For ND filters, I like Firecrest IRNDs, especially for any kind of high-end camera sensor. They work on all, but they are absolutely beautiful, and they have the absolute minimalist amount of colorizing that occurs. So when you put a ND filter, it's sunglasses. So if you've ever shopped for sunglasses, you pick up a pair and everything has a blue tint, everything has a gray tint, everything has a gold tint, all of that rose-colored tint. ND filters are the same way. And what you want is a very neutral, completely boring color profile on your filter. And the Format High Tech Firecrest IRND filters have the least amount of coloring I have ever seen. They're amazing. They're on sale right now if you go out to Format High Tech. I think if you buy their new Firecrest Pros, they'll give you the 0.3, the one stop for free. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me. I'm not affiliated with them, but I have a set. I have a 2-stop, a 4-stop, and a 6-stop of these. And then I use those. I can stack them to get pretty much anything that I need. There are lots of brands out there, but a lot of them, they don't look great to me. I mean, not all of them, but there are quite a few. And it's one of those, again, where you buy it once, buy once, cry once, some people say, but I say buy it once, buy it right, or buy it right and you only have to buy it once. These things are amazing. And I mean, you can't really, too much reflection going on, but hey, look, see the color no color shift. And that's important. Let me put that down. Keep from breaking. Okay, let's see. Ali, hey Ali, greetings one and all. Yep. Kevin Kelly says Wooden Camera also has night matte box. Yeah, Wooden Camera, originally their matte box was kind of meh, but their latest matte box is really not bad at all, and it's not expensive. I say it's like $450. I think they have two, just like Bright Tangerine's design. Spendy, but times they have sales around this time of year. Yeah, everybody, if you're looking for gear, this next week is going to be your time to buy that gear because there's going to be cyber sales like crazy. Ollie says, did you see the new Freewell Peter McKinnon ripoffs that just came out? No. What are Freewell? Freewell. What are they? ND filters? Freewell variable ND. Oh, I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, ripoffs are ripoffs. I'm not okay with that. But Polar Pro started the same way. So I can't fault them. I'm not sure who makes Peter McKinnon's variable ND, but I have seen stuff through it, and I feel like it does color it a little bit. It kind of dulls the colors slightly, more of a grayish. I don't know how to describe that. It's not green. A lot of ND filters I've seen give it a greenish cast. They call that color cast. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Variable ND with hard stops. So here's the problem with variable ND. And variable ND is actually really, really easy to make. You take a circular polarizer and you take a circular polarizer and you put them in front and you rotate them and you get a variable ND. But notice this. See this? You get a crisscross. You actually will get a crisscross pattern in every variable ND. It's just a question of how prevalent it is. I have a couple. I use them on like my little vlogging cameras and such. I have like the Tiffin, and the Tiffin is okay, but I mean, if you push them to the max, you'll absolutely see the X pattern in there. There's no, where is it? Yeah, I don't have it. I mean, they're good. They're handy, but they will give you a color cast, number one, because you're now dealing with two NDs that you're faking an ND with circular polarizers. Yeah, it's let's see. CG says I definitely got that on my last shoot. You talking about the crisscross? Yeah. I mean, what that's good for is fine tuning. So if you can, say, put in like a two-stop ND and then put a variable in front of it, then you can fine tune ever so slightly to get your perfect exposure. But I try to avoid variable NDs. I really do. Yeah. CG says mine was Tiffin as well. Yeah, there's no way to avoid it. There's absolutely. Let me hold on. I'll keep talking while I go over here and find it. There's absolutely no way to avoid the crisscross patterns because it is the very nature of taking two circular polarizers and putting them together. They've tried. They really, really have tried. And where are my filters? I know where my big bag of filters is, but I'm looking for my older, small, and that people tune in right now and they're like, this live stream sucks. Let's see. I obviously have taken it somewhere. That would mean that it's over here in a bag. Yep, right there. But I want to get, oh, looky there. Let's use that. Ooh. That's a good light to use. Where is my other one? My other one. My other one. I like to sing. It's too bad I don't know how. Alrighty then. And we're back. And we're back. All right. So let me get this out, the Aperture MX, because I need a light source to show you the crisscross pattern. Here is my Tiffin variable ND. Now, variable NDs are really good for like photography. Like when you are doing time lapse of a sunset and the sun gets darker and darker and darker, you can use your variable ND. All right, so let's go top down here. Nope. Yep. All right, hold on. Let me fix this camera. This is horrible. I was having to deal with so much before the live stream started. As usual, you know it wouldn't be a Scott Balcom live stream if everything didn't go wrong. Focus, low light compensation, good, apply. Okay. So let's turn this bad boy on and completely blind the camera. Yeah, look at that. Woo! All right, so now we're going to variable. We're probably so bright that you can't see the crisscross. Well, you can. See how I'm rotating it? And you see... And no, that's not the effect of variable ND. I can't show the crisscross because I don't have a flat, even image. No. See if I can find it. Well, it's there. Oh, I gotta go. There we go. Oh, did I never switch? I never switched, did I? There you go. The whole time I was on the configure. As I rotate it, see how it gets slightly dark and not? And it's actually in, man, these things are bright. I can't see anything now. It's actually in the DNA of these. I have multiples. Let's see. Let me open this up. See if you can see the color cast. Give my smiling face. Okay, see, it's going to darken for sure, but look at the light colors and my skin color, and even this one has kind of a greenish, grayish cast to it. The Amazon basic ones are some of the worst ones I've seen. They have that's a circular polarizer. They have a brown cast to them, very brown. I guess it would look great in the fall. All right, let's see here. Ali says, I hate variable NDs, to be honest. Currently using Lee Filters Universal Hood for run and gun. Yep. I've got a friend that's developed a really good lightweight filter holder. I mean, it's really lightweight. I reviewed the pre-production unit, and I'm just waiting for it to come out. It will be really cool when it does. It's called the Flex Filter, and he's teased it, but he hasn't come out with it yet. It is pretty cool. It's a nice option to use standard filters, but it's not a matte box. It's just a filter holder. Kevin says, I see you're using your cloaking filter. Yep. CG says, I'm going to send you a video now of it. Got it? Sent you a message on Facebook. Let's see what he says. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got X. X marks the spot for you. Yeah, that is the distinct disadvantage to variable. And, it really goes to show you there's no such thing as a free lunch. And that is a valuable lesson to learn in life. You're going to pay to play somehow, some way. Are there any other filters in here that are worth talking about? I don't think so. I know we talked about filters before, and I still am going to do a review of, well, not a review, but a demonstration of the different types of filters. So even on, wow, that got dark. Wow, we took this dark, really did. Yeah, well, I was going to show you these up close, but these are 82 millimeter Firecrest filters. I use these. I mean, Firecrest I believe in so much. I was so pleased with them on my Red that I bought them for my Sony and all the others as well. They just work. That's an Amazon Basics. Here's an Amazon Basics. That's a circular polarizer. Woo, that goes blue and brown. Woo-wee. What is this one? Yep, a Tiffin Black Pro Mist. This is a prime example. This is a filter that I like to use because it gives it that nice, everything gets a glow. I get an aura. People are like, oh my gosh, you look so great. You look like you have an aura about you. Yes, it's the, look at that. Ding. That's the Black Pro Mist. This is a filter you can't use with the Polar Pro. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you what happened. So Polar Pro, when it came out, I was seriously interested in getting a review sample to give it a fair review, just like I normally would. And I filled out all the paperwork and told them, I do fair and honest reviews, and I'd love to do it. They said, you're not a match for our company. So I take that as either one of two things. My guess is probably the first one. But either I'm not big enough, which is completely fair, or B, they saw my reviews and they want people to give positive feedback or positive reviews. I don't give positive reviews. I give honest reviews. I had an LED panel company, RGB, an off-brand, not quite that off-brand. They reached out. They wanted me to do a review on their color as well. And I told them, this is how I do it. And they're like, well, we want you to do it this way. And I said, that's not how I operate. You can send me the unit. I will ship it back, but I will give an honest review. If there is a fundamental problem with the unit, I will reach out to you first to find out if there's something wrong, anything like that. But then I will put out my video if we can't get a fix for it. And that's not what they wanted. So I won't do the review on the product. It's quite simple on that. I am honest. Let's see here. CG says, what about electronic variable NDs? Yep. So, yeah, variable electronic ND is not optical trickery. It is LCD trickery. So if you look on a monitor, the monitor is a light panel, an LCD monitor. It's a panel with light behind it. If I make the color white on the screen, then the panel goes completely transparent and the backlight shines through. That's how you get your white. If I choose the color black, then the panel turns completely opaque and no light goes through. So if you work on a grayscale, don't worry about color, but if you work on a grayscale, all you got to do is go through the shades of gray and you get your variable ND. That's how they're doing it. What they need it to be is super, super high resolution LCD pixels so that they don't create any kind of negative effect on the sensor itself. So that's what you're talking about. Will Gaddy, what's up, buddy? That is you think it's the latter. The Panavision, somebody else also has a variable electronic ND. The Panavision one is great, but I don't think they're shipping it yet either. Yeah, the Tiffin multi-rotating tray is one of the coolest solutions I've seen. It gives you options. It's very similar to the rotor polar. That's kind of what they're doing, and you just turn it inside. Will says, hanging in there, product managers are the devil. Devil! Yeah, they are. Hey, what did everybody think of the new Tesla Cybertruck? Sony FS5, FS7 variable ND is amazing. Yeah, and the reason that they are is they are up close to the sensor. So there already exists high resolution panes of glass, LCD panels that are that big. Getting them compact and that big is the bigger problem. Will says, don't get me started. Tyler says, I think it's really cool. Hey, Tyler. I posted this just a little bit ago. I studied some of the videos, the people that got rides in it, where they were going around it. I'm of the belief that what you're seeing is not the truck. I think they've got the undercarriage, and they say it's actually a unibody, but I think they got the whole four-wheel drive vehicle built, but they don't know about the styling of the top. Because if you look, every line is square. Now, when you, I can just demonstrate with one of my crappy YouTube cards. So if you want to, let's go from above. Wow, that's horrible. Hold on, let me change this real quick. Configure video. Okay. So if I want to take this wonderful Aperture MX light and I want to hold it right on here, it won't do it. And that is a straight piece of metal. It will not support this. However, if I take this. Wow. Well, that was a fail. If I take a new one and I learn how to fold, and I fold it, and then I fold it, and then I fold it into an accordion. Now I have an accordion. Now watch. It is now supported. That is the design of a unibody. If you look at any car that's a unibody, you'll see that there's crinkles and bends and curves and folds and all kinds of stuff, because that's how you get structural rigidity. If you look at the wheel well behind the tires, it is flat panels. There is absolutely no structure there, which makes me believe the structure is behind it, and that is a facade. That's my 2 cents, and it's worth exactly how much you paid for it. See, Simon says, CG says it looks like a live sketch. It does. The funny one I saw was the meme where NVIDIA's like, do you need more polygons? Upgrade to the new RTX 2080 and get more polygons on your car design. Yeah, it's a truck you don't want to get. Yeah, I firmly believe that what will happen is in about a year, Elon's going to come out and say, hey, we listened to those who love it and those who hate it, and we found something in between, and it'll resemble those really good-looking sketches that we see. Some of those were ugly, and I think the reason they're doing this is so they can get this out and testing without it being seen, without people not knowing what it is. I mean, you see the dashboard? It's like a piece of marble. Really? That doesn't make any sense. Simon says, it looks great in specs. It looks terrible in aesthetic. Yeah, the specs are amazing. If it looked anything like some of those sketches, I'd probably try to jump all over it. 500 miles and four-wheel drive and 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Heck yeah. He's trying to show the poorest design elements of the Lamborghini Reventon. It reminds me of Tars from. Yes, it is Tars. I almost think it's what's that one car that they use in a lot of CG cars? It's just skateboard, but it has an airlift system so it can mimic any kind of car out there. So they use it for like car commercials where they want to CG the car, but they want it to do something cool. So they use this one car that they can program to do anything. It looks kind of like that to me. CG says, I think you could be right. Even the inside has dangerously sharp edges. Yeah, I didn't see any place for airbags to pop out of marble. And honestly, the seats, they don't look anything like a Tesla. If you look at Tesla, all their seats look very form-fitted. These kind of look like they pulled them out of a Tahoe. It's weird. Kevin says the Tesla looks like the fake Iranian stealth fighter. Yep. Will Getty, LOL Tyler, I knew I saw this somewhere. Yeah, the first thing I saw was the car from The Last Starfighter, that 80s movie. That car looks just like it. And honestly, if they took the rear, because it goes up and then it goes downward, and then there's like the pickup bed. If they took the rear extensions off and added one more angle change on the top, just boom, 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 I'd be fine with it. But this is, honestly, it's an F-111. It's a stealth truck. Tyler says, yeah, it's at least 2 years out. It is definitely 2 years out. They said it'll be late 2021 before it will be start production. Airbags plus marble bed at the. Well, what it does is it ensures that everyone is injured equally. You won't have someone who was properly seat belted and then someone who wasn't. They'll both fare really badly when the marble explodes in their face. I'm assuming it's a fake marble, but I don't know. Tyler says, well, I wasn't surprised because he said this is exactly what he wanted to make. Well, I mean, okay. You know what? What it really says is, just like everyone says, artwork is personal. Some people can walk up to an artwork and go, my God, it's the most beautiful thing. I see two little girls running with daisies in their hands towards a pond with a mountain in behind it. Someone else will say, my God, this is the most hideous thing I've ever seen. I see two lizards walking down a path of fire. I mean, it's artwork. So that design is artwork. And Elon has an odd sense of artwork to me. But, you know, who am I to judge? Tyler says, cyberpunk Blade Runner-esque vehicle. It is definitely. I like the squatting is kind of cool, but they're not the first one to do that. Range Rover did that. The tailgate was kind of interesting. I don't believe that's going to fare well over time. It's a B-2 bomber on wheels. B-2 is pretty. It's got curves. The F-117 is the one that's the double diamond block. I see a replacement for a wood planer for the Jolly Green Giants wood shop. A car magazine from a long time ago described it as a car, safety by Gillette. Well, one thing's for sure, if you hit it, you will jump right over the top of it. Don't get me wrong, I could not design a better car, so my critique is only 100% based upon my personal opinions and views, and that's all I got to say about that. Let's see. So what else is everybody working on? Let's see. Just looking through real quick. Got lots of people out today. Doing a lot of motion control for the product shots for all of this stuff. The lens, several things, four different things. 3D printer hell. Yeah, I want to play with 3D printers. I really do. I just can't afford to right now. Simon Eisenbach says, day 2 of 3 rendering time lapses from Ethiopia. Oh, I understand that one. Tyler said, should have said those were his words describing the truck before. Yeah. I'm trying to set up a lens test standard. So if you ever look at really good, I mean, truthfully, the best lens tests are the ones that are real. You go out and you shoot a client, or you go and you shoot a human interacting, that kind of stuff. Those are really the best lens tests. But in the absence of that, the better lens tests, or the best lens tests, are ones that have a lot of different things in the shot. Smooth objects, round objects, square objects, non-reflective, light-emitting objects, that kind of stuff. I've got hiccups for some reason. And so I'm trying to put together all the different things that I think would look cool in a lens test, where I could put a lens up against it and then shoot the same test at wide open f2.8 or T2.9, T5.6, T4, T8, all of that, so that people can actually go back and watch the same lens test from my channel and see how the differences exist between the lenses. What things do you think should end up in there? Because there needs to be stuff that's detailed, and why is my eye watering? Stuff that's not detailed. I figure like this little Lego guy, he'd be kind of perfect to go in there. But I need stuff that's shiny. I've got some old cameras to put in there. I've got the old phone. I've got the desk is basically my premise for it. And the desk has, a lamp. It's got a typewriter. It's got some old cameras, a stapler, that kind of stuff. Lens projection in RGB, not just green. I don't have a lens projector though. Yeah, lens projection is absolutely the best way. But that's to see how it optically, how clear it is. But clear is not, lens projection would not necessarily show you character. The character of skin, the character of how it works with light, sunlight hitting skin and that kind of stuff. That's why I'm trying to come up with something that would satisfy all of that. Yeah, Ali says the Rhino Arc 2 is getting a lot of attention, huh? And I'm doing a video. It's while I'm shooting all of these, and the video is going to be titled, "Forget Everything You've Been Told About Motion Control." Because all of those that are out there, the Rhino, the what's the other, the Edelkrone, all of those are designed for simple A to B or A to B to C shots of a product or slight movement. They are not designed to do really intricate things. That is truly where the Kessler Chaos, or Cause, I guess it is, software comes in. And that's one of the things that if you look on my Facebook post yesterday, I posted one of the keyframe maps that I have for my motion control for one shot. If you're doing a keyframe mat for on an Edelkrone or the Rhino Arc 2, it's pop, pop, pop 3. And it is line, line, that's it. And it will try to curve it the best it can. What I can do is I can use Bezier curves and I can adjust exactly how it flows through that whole thing. And I can fine tune it. I can repeat it. It's not click, click, click. It's not point your camera, point your camera, point your camera. And this is, people that are serious about motion control, this is what I want them to understand. And that'll be coming in a video. I suspect it'll be out before Christmas, but it's not going to be my first videos to get out. But the Kessler system is unlike any of the other affordable motion control systems because you can program serious moves and not just keyframes. So keep that in mind. If all of y'all are looking for motion control, when you look at everyone's review of all these products, look at how they're done. They're all done the same way. You can either point the camera, point the camera, point the camera, and save them, or you can move it with a joystick and set your keyframes. But you cannot control how it gets there. Aberration. Yep, aberration sometimes is your friend, sometimes mostly not. Kevin Kelly says, last night I got to see a short I worked on in a movie theater, along with 5 other short films. Nice. It's a good feeling, isn't it? Simon says, it's just too heavy for me. Will says, you get what you pay for. Yeah, that's true. But that's the interesting thing. The Kessler system, the Kessler second shooter, the second shooter plus specifically, because you got to have the second shooter plus to get Wi-Fi to use the Chaos software. It's the same price. It's the same price as all those others. So, and if y'all haven't seen, well, I can't show it. I keep talking about it, but the 4-axis that I'm using. So I can go in, out, side, side, turn, and then up and down, as well as focus. So I can arc around stuff. I can do anything, anywhere, along anywhere. It's gorgeous. The only thing I can't do is up and down. I've asked. Syrup allows more control of how the camera gets point to point versus the others. Yes, Syrup does. However, aren't you limited to like 4 keyframes or 5 keyframes? And that's it. With Chaos, I think it's either 30 or 100. I know with the Cinematography it's 200. But yeah. Ali says, Scott, any idea why my second shooter pan has a delay? Yes. The side axis starts, but to kick in, that is called lash compensation. If you will go out to Kessler's support website, look up lash compensation. If you look in your menu, you'll see it. And the way to do it is take a laser pointer, wrap a rubber band around it that is holding the button down, put the laser pointer on the pan head. Then go to lash compensation. And what it's going to do is it's going to go tick, 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 just ever so slightly on the wall. The laser pointer is going to move this much. You won't see it, but the laser will point it out. And then you adjust the lash compensation on it until it stops moving. That will significantly reduce that. There is always some, and the way that I have found to do that is to preload. So when I return to 0, the way I do it is I start it and then stop it. And what that does is it loads up everything. And so then when I hit start, it preloads the gearing. And it has to do with how many gears are in there, is what it is. Every single motion control system has it. Every single one. So it's not unheard of, but you can adjust it with Kessler. If Tim's listening, he can chime in and say whether I got that right or not. But I've done lash compensation a whole bunch. So Simon says, I think it's 6. Yep. I did 4 when testing the Ginny Minis. Yeah, the syrup uses string, doesn't it? It's the one that uses like a cord. And I don't like that because it can allow slippage. Will Getty says, yep, Lash is my demon with CNC and 3D printing at the moment. Yep, it is everybody's demon, and there's no way to stop it unless you just make everything so tight that you're destroying your gear as you use it. Ali says, awesome, thanks. That is my internet telling me that my internet's working great again. Yep, I know that. Simon says, say that again. Doesn't Syrup use a nylon cord that wraps around a spool and then goes back to the end, correct? The nylon spool, very much like a sailing ship, the way you wrap it around I'm not a sailor, so you wrap it around the thing and you pull 6 of one, half dozen for the other, which is the trade-off, yeah, for the linear. Yes, correct. But when you have anything like that, that means you can't get 100% accurate repeatability. You will have some small perturbations, I think is the term, when you try to, and that'll show up if you shoot like the same scene 3 times and you're trying to cut and stitch 3 of them together. That's what you'll end up with. Yeah, the pan and tilt is geared. You couldn't do it with. I guess you could do it with string, but yeah, it's all about the control. All my belts and gears are full on 310 stainless. Yeah, the Kessler belts are they're Kevlar cog belts, so they don't stretch at all. It's kind of amazing, and apparently they're very expensive. It's $1 a foot for that, or maybe it's more than that. They're impressive, but they don't stretch. And I'm not trying to sit here and say Kessler is the only one out there. They all work, don't get me wrong. But there are reasons why the Kessler is worth taking a look at. And one of the reasons why I love Kessler crane stuff so much is the attention to detail that they put in. Oh, have y'all seen the new the Killshock Mini? That thing is pretty cool. It's a little bitty version of the Kill Shock for the smaller motion control, not motion control, the smaller gimbals, so you can mount it on your car. Really cool. Perfect for mirrorless. Will says, but you got to be really tight. Yep. Oh, probably more. $1.15 per foot on the Kessler cable. It's not cable. It's Kevlar belt. And I forget what it came from. I was told once it's actually an industrial belt. I forget what they just repurposed it for that. Ollie says, Arc is nice. Can't compare with Second Shooter, but I'll tell you what I would love. The ability to adjust the shot by hand like Edelkrone. Yeah, I do like that feature. I really do. But from what I understand about the electronics that goes on inside, to do that means that your pan and your tilt and your slide are not, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're not directly tied to the motor. So you can't get a 100% perfect repeatable, I guess is the term, move. It's really close. But yeah, that is nice. That would definitely make product shots faster if you could just go boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I get you there. I mean, I would love to be able to draw, just like physically draw on a piece of graph paper what I want my move to look like. But, we do what we got to do. Well, I can't put that in there because you used a bad word. I have to make sure that my monetization stays in there. But Will basically said, Eric is not some rubber dog poo Hong Kong manufacturer. It's true. Eric Kessler develops everything in-house. They build it all in the USA. It is high-quality stuff, and you get what you pay for. You really do. Kevin Kelly says, all geared systems have the same problem. Yep, there are backlash compensation gears. Timing belts is the term you're needling. Yeah, needing. Yeah. Yeah, a timing belt would be very, very, that's like the Hondas and the Toyotas. They all use that same thing. Yeah, exactly. Will says, understood. Will, I've all been into scotch lately. I've been enjoying the scotch. Oh, I got to make sure I don't say that. I'm all into Scott with a ch at the end. On my keto diet, I can't have beer, so I've been enjoying Scott with the ch at the end. Let's see here. Tonight. So I made pizza on my keto diet, and the dough that you make, you're not allowed to have grains. So the dough that they make, use almond flour, which I don't know how you get flour from almonds, but you got it, and mozzarella cheese, an egg, and you mix it together, and it makes dough. It's the weirdest thing. You put it in the oven, it makes breadsticks, it makes pasta, it makes pizza. It's unheard of. Tonight we're doing sushi, and we're doing sushi with cauliflower rice. So yeah, I got that going for me. This is not a big old glass of scotch. This is my standard non-alcoholic Mio Squirt pineapple strawberry drink. Have y'all seen the big uproar? So COPA, which is that Child Protection whatever act, you have to, if your audience is intended for kids, you have to state so. And if not, and it actually is, you can be fined $42,000 per video. My stuff is not for kids. I'm absolutely plain and clear about it in every video. It's for anybody, but kids are not in this market. Any adult. And if you look at my demographics, it's quite hilarious. My 0 to 13, 0. I have no one in that age range. None. So now that everybody has to be, you have to mark. I had to specifically mark my live stream that it was not for children. are not intended for children. But now that I can put that out there, why can't I have tobacco and alcohol products on a live stream now? That makes no sense. Because that was the whole thing. Is like, oh, it could be marketed to kids, but not now. Now it's all adults. Adults are adults. They can make their own decision. I don't know. Simon says, but you just told me about it, so it's heard of. It's true. Cauliflower crust sucks. I'm not going to do cauliflower crust. I've never liked cauliflower. I've been trying to eat it on this keto diet. I still do not like cauliflower, but we will try it as a rice substitute because I'm sure the soy substitute sauce will mask that. Will says, I was going to say, man, yeah, the mozzarella and almond flour, it works. It's kind of amazing. It makes pizza crust, and it tastes, it's not perfect. And Tyler, it's nowhere near our pizza place, but a home slice, but it is good. Colleague doesn't if done right. I'm not going to describe what I think cauliflower tastes like. But ugh. Simon says, got to run. Have a great weekend, folks. Simon, thanks for dropping by. Glad you made it back home safe. Hope all is well. Let's see. So what else is everybody working on? Buffalo cauliflower wings are so good, says a friend of mine. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's see if I can add Simon or Tyler, home slice. No, man, I feel for you. And that's the beauty of my diet. So my diet, I have a built-in cheat day, so we can still do it. We can still go get our home slice. And during Masters of Motion, I plan on pretty much cheating the whole time. Mushroom crust quiche. That's technically 2 words. But I don't think you can hyphenate that to get it 2 words. Mushroom crust quiche. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of quiche. But I also hated broccoli, and now I'm eating broccoli. So I might just give that a try. Obviously, my buddy Tim is on the live stream because he keeps talking about cauliflower. Let's see here. Tyler says, definitely we'll have to get it at Masters. Yeah, we will. Bill says, you got me on a technicality. That's the story of my life. Getting people on a technicality. So what other projects everybody got working on? Will, are you being successful at anything, or is everything just kind of raining down on you like it has been lately? We got lots of people on the live stream. I like it. I dig that. Everybody has, that's cool. They all have their avatars. Let's see here. What else is going on? People keep sending me stuff. All right, throw some questions out there, folks. I've covered my desk with all kinds of stuff. And you know I'm not afraid to go get something to talk about it. But yeah, throw some questions my way. Let's get some Q&A going on here. Otherwise, I'm just going to ask you guys questions. Some excellent, others not so good. Health sucks, but kicking behind otherwise. Tyler says, saw the FX9 this week. It was really nice. Did you see it at Texas Media Systems? Is that where it was? I think it was. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I still just don't know why they won't put 6K in it. Tim Dallas, there, switch to my other account. Cauliflower wings are awesome. I don't know how to do cauliflower wings, but you can't have potato chips. There's no potato chips, grains, or any of that stuff on the keto diet. But you can have pork rinds. And pork rinds are not delicious. They're not horrible, but they kind of taste like stale popcorn to me. But they have almost no calories. They have some, but they have no carbs. But you can mush up pork rinds, and that becomes your tempura for your tempura fried sushi. So we're going to have like firecracker sauce on. We got all kinds of sushi we're making tonight. It's going to be good. Yep, that's where I saw it. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm trying to put together. I've been putting together in my mind like my top 10 cameras. It probably will be top 3 in each category for 2019. My dilemma, and you, my nose, you know how itchy it gets. My dilemma is I feel like the list should be only cameras that you can buy today, because I don't think it's fair to put something on a list if it is not really known that much. You know what I mean? Like Komodo and the Canon C500 Mark II and the FX9. There's not really a lot out there on it right now, so it's kind of hard to say it's the best or not. Yeah. Can keto raise your cholesterol long term? As I understand it, the answer is no, because with keto, you have to balance. They call them your macro. You have to balance everything so that it doesn't. Yeah, that's the way I understood it, because that question has been asked a lot too. But the way I'm doing keto was that keto, your body changes over from burning starches or carbs and sugar to burning fat. But over time, your body will get really good at it, and it becomes less effective. And so the cheat day, you eat carbs and sugar. And what that does is the body will instantly recognize those and go back to processing those. Then when you jump back on keto the next day, it has to relearn, and it becomes far more efficient at it, or less efficient at it, and it burns more fat. That was the version of, there's like 27,000 keto diets out there. That's the one I chose, but it made sense to me. Will says you don't need rice for sushi. That's true. Nigiri is lovely, but I do like the rice. I'm not sure why, but I do like it. Star Crush Media, hey Ryan, or hey Scott, Ryan Putnam here. Hey Ryan, we'll get sashimi, to be more specific. I thought nigiri. Oh yeah. Nigiri is on top of rice. Duh, yeah, sashimi, right? Yes. And I do like that, but it happens to be the most expensive. I mean, we're using because we're going to do sushi for the first time ever here. I love sushi, eating out. But since it's the first time, I don't want to take some nice piece of fish and destroy it and mess it all up. So we're using like smoked salmon, so it's already cured. And we're using the imitation crab, and we're using shrimp. The shrimp we will deep fry, so that's not a problem. And then we have a sushi grade shop in Austin, and I'm going to get some nice salmon from there and some tuna, and then bring it here and put it in the deep freeze for 7 days, because that's what you have to do to kill the bacteria, or kill potential bacteria. Well, you're like in the middle of Texas, not like you're in Corpus Christi. Yeah, it's true. I'm 4.5 hours from Corpus. We can get fresh fish, but meh. The Gulf doesn't have the best fresh fish. funny. Let's see. Throw some more questions out there. Come on. Come on. All right, if you're not going to throw questions out there, you know I'm going to put the 5-minute timer on there. No, not after Deepwater Horizon. I still haven't watched that movie. We haven't. I haven't watched it. Dustin Allen. Hello, Dustin. What are your must-have accessories for RED cameras? That is a fair question. Let me grab just a couple things, and I will give you my must-haves. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. Again, I told you I was a singer. There's two. I need to grab this behemoth here. Oh, it's so big. It's so big. Boy, that has got to be something odd for you guys to hear without seeing. Alrighty then. Must-have accessories for a RED camera. That's going to get heavy. So first and foremost, you need a handle of some kind. I use this little one from RED. RED used to make one that was about this big that went on top. They don't make it anymore. I don't know why. But this one just goes right on top. This is the bright tangerine. This is their like mini cage. But man, it's really hard to see. It's not very bright. Let's brighten this up a little bit. Turn me into Casper here. How's that look? Let's see if it looks. Oh man, I'm super white. I need some sun. Okay, so you can kind of see here. And the advantage here is on the bright tangerine. Let's go back to this one. You can slide your handle forward and backward, and it has the start-stop trigger on the top. And a full review of this is coming shortly. So some type of handle on the top. Secondarily, some type of rod mount on the bottom. Now this one is the bright tangerine, and I have it on here because I'm doing a review on it. The other option, I can't show it to you because it's under that camera right now, is I use the Kessler quick plates for pretty much everything around here, which use the Arca Swiss standard, and then there's a rod attachment for the front. So that gives you lightweight rod system. Your lens, this is not a lens, this is Scott 101. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The monitor needs a hood. It's just not bright enough. So wooden camera makes a nice little flexible hood. There's some hard ones that fold. There's some pop-on kind. Some type of hood for a RED. And then some type of lightweight matte box. This is the bright tangerine. You can buy any other. You could even buy the Polar Pro if you were destined to throw your money away. Let me rephrase that. That's not fair. If you're destined to buy it twice, if you get bigger. And then the other accessory that I like is some type of side handle. The RED being, it's not an ergonomic designed camera because it's specifically designed to not be, it's designed to be as small and compact as possible. So this side handle, which goes in the place of where, it goes down like that, but it goes in the place of this top handle, but it gives you a grip to hold. That is pretty awesome. This one is relatively affordable. There's also the RED side handle is really nice. I don't own it. I do want to own it. From there, if you like the handheld, GDU, which is Global Dynamics United, makes these cowboy handles. They feel so amazing. Tim has a set, and I've used them. They're truly amazing. Small Rig has some that are okay. They feel good. They're just not anywhere near those GDUs. I do have the Small Rig side cage mounts. I don't use them that much. My intention with my Red when I go out almost always is to be as light as possible. So I'm usually rocking this handle, a Sigma lens, photo lens, and a matte box, and that's my rig. That is my Red accessories. Let's see here. Kevin Kelly says, this year's cameras are a meh for me. Good cameras, but they just don't hit all the buttons for me to buy. Well, it depends on, how far of a jump you want to make. I don't think they're bad. Last year's cameras were bad. This year's at least there's some. Will Gaddy says, very good movie, money, lots and lots of money. My school let me pick up the Red Dragon X kit this year. I understand. The cool thing, if you didn't watch my Red video, the one the other day, which is weird because it got a lot of views and then no one watches it now. It's weird. But Red just announced that the Dragon X and the Scarlet W's already have 6K Dragon sensors in them. So remember when I was always talking about how I miss my Epic Dragon because it had 6K, this one's just 5K? It actually has 6K. The Dragon X are going to get a free firmware upgrade to enable all the 6K. They never did the work for 6K because they wanted the 5K in their lineup. It made more sense for them. But so many people are asking for the 6K because they love that Dragon sensor. Free upgrade for Dragon X, you get 6K. And for Scarlet W, folks, that means that upgrading your Scarlet W to the Dragon X for $5,000, that means you get now a 6K Dragon X for $5,000. That is a super bargain, really, in the world of Red. And if you don't own a Red and you're looking at a Dragon X, try to find a Scarlet W right now and buy it because you can buy them used for like 11 or so. So you buy that, spend the $5 to upgrade, and it's cheaper than a Dragon X. Boom. That's some love right there. This is currently still has the lens on it. I am finishing up now. I know they like their lens back. Finishing up on this lens. It is still a really nice lens. This is the pre-production unit. And it's got a few little quirks to it. I've talked to them about, and they don't have them on other units, so they're interested in getting this one back to see what happened on it. But yeah, let's see here. Kitsilano Theater Company, thanks for the updates on the Red Komodo as we have fundraised for it, and we are now waiting for news. We have a Red Scarlet X right now, and I was wondering if we should be looking at older accessories. And then Ollie says, so Komodo isn't full frame. Let me answer Ollie real quick and then go back to you. No, Komodo is not full frame. It is larger than Super 35, but smaller than full frame. So the Dragon 6K sensor that's in here, and that was on the Epic, is 0.82 the size of full frame. So it's slightly smaller. The Komodo 6K is 0.98% of the Dragon 6K. So it'll be like 0.8 or so, I think, from full frame. So it's not quite, it's like a 1.3 crop, maybe 1.35 crop is what it would be. It's very close. Okay, Kitsilano, we have a Red Scarlet X right now, and I was wondering if we should be looking at older accessories. So is your intention to keep the Red Scarlet X for a while, or not? The Red Scarlet X, that's the Mysterium, is it not? Yeah. When I mean older accessories, I mean targeting anything in particular that you think Scarlet X are wise to keep an eye on. Yeah. Red just announced that they're no longer supporting the DSMC-1 for repairs. They can't support it anymore. However, CG, if you saw him at the beginning, if you don't know CG is doing repairs on DSMC-1 bodies. So there's a free plug for you, CG. So reach out to CG, CG Productions on Facebook. He does do repairs on DSMC-1, and he succeeds. So better than I could do. The thing to think about with the old DSMC-1 bodies, since they're not making anymore, the ability to get stuff for it is going to be harder and harder. Accessories, I mean, right now it's probably fairly easy to pick up a bunch of accessories for a fairly affordable price because people are unloading their DSMC-1 cameras, knowing that they can't get them supported by Red anymore. And that doesn't say a whole lot. I mean, it's not a huge negative thing. The cameras themselves don't break. They really don't. It's so rare that they do. So that's not that huge of a concern. I mean, stuff does happen, but it's pretty rare on a camera. I mean, if your intentions are to keep the Scarlet X, then I would try to find as many accessories as you can now, and build out your camera the way you want. Do I think it is the right thing? I don't know. I think Komodo would actually be a better camera than a Scarlet X. Komodo is going to be a better camera than the Scarlet X. I can tell you. It's going to have far better, with the exception of HDMI, I don't think there's anything that Komodo can't do that the Scarlet X can do. In fact, there's a lot more that Komodo can do over Scarlet X. So, yeah, that's something to consider. It says, it is, especially when they hear we are a public high school training students on Red cameras and editing R3D. We intend on keeping it and transition to Komodo as an A-cam in the program. Are y'all signed up with Red for their education program? If you're not, you need to get in touch with Red. They have an education program. And what that does is they give you access. They give you a little bit of a discount on some stuff, but they give you access to other cameras that they wouldn't necessarily sell. As I understand it, and don't take this as gospel, but I think like if someone were to trade in something to them, that old camera, they may sell it really cheap to an education. So if you aren't and you're a high school, get your high school talking to Red about their education program. It's definitely good to do. We intend to keep it and transition to Komodo as the A-cam in the program. Yeah, no, that's very reasonable. Then, I mean, the only thing, I wish CG was still on here. He could tell you which parts fail. But I mean, you're not going to find the parts, the internal parts. You're just going to find an old cam. So I don't think I'd buy a whole lot for it. But if there's some accessories you're looking for, now's probably the time to get it because they're unloading them. Dustin says, I need to be. What do you need to be? Yeah, Kisano says, no, we have the Scarlet. Yeah, get your teacher to reach out. They do have a very cool education program. And it's fairly easy for an education to do that because they really do love that, because you learning on such good equipment is going to only better you in life. Even if you're using any other camera, you're learning, because a Red, you can't just put it up, turn it on, and it records. There's stuff you have to learn, and that's the beauty of it. Dustin Allen says, is their Reducation class worth it, or should I just film lots of things? Reducation is worth it. There's so I still actually plan on taking when they bring back their advanced one. I plan on taking it because there's still a lot in the 5 years I've been shooting red. There's still a lot I don't know, and I mean the Reducation. It does teach you a lot of basics of how to work the camera, but it also teaches you how to be efficient with it, and it teaches you post, how to properly process your images in post. And, you know, I may have figured it out. I may know everything and don't know it, but I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure there's stuff that I've seen come out of there that I didn't know. I'm like, ooh, really? Do. Southern Nights. Hey, Scott, what's up? Looking great. Thank you. My 25 pounds down. Feeling it good. Feeling it good. Let's see here. How are things down there in Atlanta, David? The mama doing okay? She feeling good? Let's see here. Dustin Allen says, I need to be. What was that from? My school let me pick up. Oh, Dustin. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Dustin, you also, okay. I just confused both of y'all at the same time, but yeah. Yeah. If you're in education, if your experience with RED is in education, make sure your teachers know about the RED education program. And get into that because it costs nothing. It costs nothing to sign up, and then they get the discounts in the RED education program. Gotcha. David says, met up with Tim today. Atlanta traffic took 4 hours from me today. Mama Cataray is down like an owl. Man, I got this like twitch on my eyebrows. Keeps going. Ding, ding, ding. That's weird. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tim's cool, dude. Yeah, Tim, when you posted that, I didn't realize that Tim actually did have a power adapter for sale. I thought maybe you had like confused it with someone. So I jumped in there. I'm like, oh, well, I've got one too. And then I'm like, oh, he probably does have one for sale. Don't buy mine. Buy Tim's. I was like, that was pretty rude of me. But if anybody's looking for a power adapter, I do have a brand new red power adapter. It's never been used. I'll sell it for $100. So if anybody's looking for one, let me know. Soup-to-do-to-do. Hour and a half in. Let's see here. All good. Tim says, buy Scott's AC adapter. Yep. Somebody. There's an E in that. I'm the worst at spelling to call you out. Let's see here. Do you think we are hitting March without a Komodo release? I guess that depends on what you mean by hitting March. If you mean March 1st, I think you're about 50-50 on March 1st. The end of March, I think you're about 80% certain you're going to see Komodo. Well, you're going to be able to buy Komodo. I have a feeling, and this is only a feeling, it's not based on any, you're going to see some Komodos out in the wild soon. Maybe the next month or two. You might see a bunch of them out there, not just the few that are out there. But I don't think they'll be mass for sale yet until I'm hearing first quarter. So, yeah. Yeah, March 1st, I think you got a 50-50 shot on that. That's tough because I know they pushed it. It was good, and then they made it better, and now they're making it even better. And you can't fault them for that. And that's the thing that that I tried to explain, I think, on my video, is that this is unlike any other camera company. When the FX9 came out from Sony, when the Canon C500 Mark II came out, there was a leak about 2 weeks beforehand, or maybe a month beforehand, and then it was there. This is months in advance, and this is Red pulling back the curtain a little bit and showing you development while they're doing it of this little camera. And that's the cool thing. So it's tough because I'm also one of those who's like, I want to buy it now. I want it. Give me my money. Shut up and take my money. That kind of thing. But it's not available yet because it's literally being developed as we're talking. And that is really cool to see. It's just frustrating for a lot of people to cope with. Kisano says, all speculation from here in my questions and your answers. Is there traction to the thought that hydrogen owners will have a pre-order option? I believe if I had to guess, if I had to, an educated guess would say hydrogen. What is it, Tim? What are the first hydrogen owners called? The ones that pre-ordered titanium. They actually got like a puck or something. They're the original titanium owners. They are like the top tier hydrogen owners. I think they will get the pre-order option. And then I think weeks later, they will open up pre-orders, but hydrogen owners will get the discount. That is my guess. Houdini owner. Yeah, they called Houdini the very first one. But we're no different than all the pre-orders. We just opted to get our phones first. Oh, interesting. To give up our titanium. Okay, interesting. So I don't know. Maybe the Houdini owners, because that's right. That's what it was. Because you got your titanium later. You were the very first group of people to get the actual one, but it was not the titanium. It was the aluminum one, and then that was the Houdini. That was the first round. Okay, got it. So I mean, those are people that Red cherishes because those people are typically very Red happy people. I mean, I'm very Red happy people. I didn't have the money to buy one. So it wouldn't shock me if Houdini owners got to pre-order first or got to access to buy first. That's a guess, but all hydrogen owners, and I'll come back to that. All hydrogen owners will get a discount or have the discounted price on the Komodo. What I don't know is, are they going to say, if you were a hydrogen owner as of this date, you'll get the discount? Or if people can just go out and buy a hydrogen today and get the discount? I don't know. Yeah, so that's my guess. I think there's going to be a group of people that will have Komodos before everyone else. I personally would love to be in that group. I do not think I'm in that group. I would love to be in that group. If anybody's listening at Red, I'd love to be in that group, but I don't think that I'm in that group, and I'm fine with that. I mean, I really do want it. I want it in my hands now. I want to hold it, and I want to hug it and love it and name it George. But there are people who have supported Red far more than I have that I believe are more deserving and more talented, for fairness, than I am. They should get it first. Tim was saying all pre-orders, either titanium or aluminium, were in the same boat. We got a chance to give up our titanium or aluminum to become Houdini if we want. Okay, Houdini was the final production pre-tail version of the phone, beta if you will, but Houdini was only special because we had the H1 first, right? So maybe they create a Houdini for Komodo. I don't know. That's my opinion. But yeah, hopefully that answers your... Everybody's on the phone. Everybody's on the phone during my live streams. So weird. Kisano Theater Company, did that answer your question? I think it was them. All pre-orders ordered at the same time. Houdini gave up the right to get a retail version to get it in early. Yep. Yes, thank you. Perfect. Good. Always happy when I answer a question. Let's see here. All right, fire off some questions. Come on. Go throw the 5-minute rule out there. In 5 minutes, if there's no more questions, I'm just going to wrap it up. And I'm happy to stay here all night. Well, until the wife gets home. When she gets home here at 6, then I'm making sushi because I'm hungry. As I'm listening, watching, I'm applying for the education program at Red. Very cool. Make sure you do it as as the company, because they don't do it. I guess they do it for students, maybe. I don't know. Read about the program. But have I tried out the Cine 7 yet? No, I haven't. I'm kind of mixed on it. In one way, I think it's cool. It's bright. It's color accurate. It's big. In another way, I don't like cables. I'm not a fan of the cables. I like my cableless mount here. I don't know. And everybody right now can't get the red control for it. Kevin Kelly says, do you think Canon got some red tech for allowing Red to use the RF mount? No, I don't think so. I would imagine, I'm not, is the RF mount patented? I don't know if it is or not. I would assume it is, but if it is, they probably just licensed it. And it's probably not that expensive to license that, because quite honestly, Canon wins because people will buy Canon lenses. Yeah, it probably wasn't that much to license it. I don't know. I don't get into the inner workings of Red. I know nothing like that. Anybody I know at Red would not share that information with me because it's none of my business. But I'm guessing that's how it would work. Kisano, got it. Sorry. I was crossing you and Dustin, because Dustin said he picked up the thing, and sorry. Yep, department head, good. You're all clear. Yep, fill it out. Take care of that school. Take care of those kids. They'll love you for it because, it's Red. Tim says, if I get a Komodo before you, Scott, I will either travel there to Austin to live stream with you, or I will share a live stream with you. Oh, that's so sweet. Tim says, I bet they pay license. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be that much. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 a camera, is my guess. I would not think it would be much, because if it's too much, nobody will license it, then they won't sell them. Yeah. David says, I have it. Took 4 weeks to get the Red control in hand. Wow. How is it? You like it? Tim says, lots of RF lenses will sell in 2020. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I like my EFs, but I can hang with the RF. The RF is smaller. I will give it that. And when they start making them, I saw Sigma just announced in 2020 they're coming out with theirs. That'll be a nice one. But I'm still going to have to balance, because I I do not believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe you can adapt E-mount to RF, which means that my Sony A7R3s would not be able to use an RF. So, and my Dragon could not use an RF. So to me, those would be fairly limited in their value if I were to purchase those, unless I bought them specifically just for Komodo. Phase detect autofocus, yep. It's funny. Somebody was calling it PD or DPAF. I'm like, no, it's not dual pixel. It's the opposite. Dustin, I'm also the teacher. We don't have a department heads though. Okay, fair enough. Okay, everybody's got to start putting their age apparently now, so I can. Let's see here. Kitsano, we just finished the first of our 4 trips flying to locations to film. Nice. We were hoping to have the Komodo to mount on the old DJI Ronin before the second filming trip. When is that? March 1st? I'd love to be able to tell you that you could. I don't think I'd count on it. Because quite honestly, the way Red works, if something comes along that will make it 5% better and only cost them a week, they'll wait the week because they want it to be they want it to be the best when it comes out. Isn't phase detect better than dual pixel? No. Phase detect is not better than dual pixel. Dual pixel is the holy grail of current autofocus. Phase detect uses the same principles, but not not using the pixels. But it's really close. It's like 85% the performance of dual pixel, and dual pixel is darn near amazing. Dual pixel is amazing. It's darn near perfect. So phase detect is a very preferred version. Phase detect is what Sony uses in their autofocus systems, their new ones. GH5, they use contrast, which is the least awesome version. David says, I have the Teradek RT version. I love it because of that feature. The monitor sometimes freezes, killing touch functionality, and then I have to soft restart. Well, that sounds like it needs just a firmware update when they get the new firmware. Tim says, good to know. All knowing is half the battle because knowledge is power. Schoolhouse Rocket. The kid. Ali says, looks like 2020 will be the year of full frame Blackmagic Europe. You know Blackmagic in NAB 2020, Blackmagic will have a full frame camera. I'm not going to be the first one to say it. I guarantee it's been said before, but yeah, I'm pretty sure, and it'll be called the GF or the F3, like full frame 3. Who knows? Isn't that rig we saw at Cinegear using phase detect? Yes, it is. And if y'all are wondering what I'm talking about, go back to my Cinegear Atlanta video vlog where I was talking with Austin Lewis, first AD extraordinaire. He was demoing that rig. That is phase detect. Kisano says, we currently use a Canon 85 and a Sigma art lens on the Red. Thoughts on the next logical lens purchase for us? Would be nice to have something that will be on the Scarlett X, Sony, and Komodo. What Sony camera do you have, and which Sigma art lens do you have? Did I say AD, Tim? First AC extraordinaire. NAB 2020. Now you got me wondering what I said. Second trip is in February, which I'm doubtful of. For that's 5 days, but we're hoping that the Komodo is in our hands for the April travel shots. I think there is a good probability for April. I'm high probability. Yeah, tell me the exact Sigma lens that you have and the Sony camera that you have, and I'll give you my opinion and thoughts on next lens purchase. Um, can't wait for Komodo. Me neither. Sony FS700 with firmware upgrade using Odyssey 7Q. Got it. In 4K RAW. Yep. Okay. EF. And then the Sigma lens that you have. So the problem, this is a problem that I'll have to deal with. I love Sigma art lenses. They are some of my favorite lenses out there for affordable. Tacchina Vista Prime, well, actually Tacchina Vista 1s are my favorite next level cinema lens. But the Sigma cinema lenses are also awesome. And then from there, we just go into millions of dollars, and Scott loses all track of reality. Sigma 35 to 115. I don't know that one. Is that a mistype? I don't know that lens at all. These two lenses, Canon 85, Sigma Art 35 to 115. I don't know what that lens is. Let me double check the art. Okay. If it's an art and it's a zoom, it's either 18 to 35 or 50 to 100. What's up? I am. How did I get that? Give me that. Oh my God, I haven't seen one of those in forever. Oh man, look at that. Cigar aficionado. Yay. Okay. Oh. Huh. Wonder what that is. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I won't open that up on there. Let's see. Yeah, double check that art. Here's the dilemma with the Sigma 18 to 35 and the 50 to 100 are two of my favorite lenses. The 18 to 35 is an APS-C size or Super 35 sized lens. The Komodo is very, very similar to the Dragon 6K sensor. The 18 to 35 does not cover the Dragon at 6K. You end up having to go into about 21 millimeters to get the coverage. Now, the truth there is that 18 millimeter at the 5K sensor is the same as 21 at the 6K sensor. It's still the same depth of field that you get, but you can't open it up to 18. So if you're in the art the APS-C, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit to cover it. 18 to 35. Yeah, that is absolutely my favorite lens on the planet for anywhere close to affordable. So yeah, that 18 to 35 on Komodo will not cover Komodo at 18. You'll have to take it to about 21. It may be closer to 20 on the Komodo, since Komodo is slightly smaller than the Dragon at 6K. But it was never a problem for me. When I had my Epic Dragon 6K, I used the 1835 all the time. And I just zoomed in just ever so slightly. I have the 50 to 100 now. I did not have it before, so I don't know how that works on it. If anybody has the 50 to 100 on a 6K Dragon, let me know, because I'd be interested in seeing that. But as soon as I get my firmware upgrade, maybe a month, please, maybe a week. Jared, send me. I'll beta it for you. I'll beta. You know I will. Yeah. Then I'll have the 50 to 100 on there, and we'll know instantly. So that is something to consider. I would tell you the 50 to 100 is 99% as amazing as the 95% as amazing as the 18 to 35 from Sigma. The disadvantage is that focus breathing is massive on the 50 to 100. If you pull focus live focus, you're zooming at the same time. It is wildly out of control. That's the negative. So as long as you know that, it's fine. But I mean, as far as crispness and light character, yeah, the Sigma is amazing. But um, yeah, as far as working on both, you're wanting EF. I mean, the Sigma Art primes are great. Those are cool. I don't know. Are you looking for a zoom? Because what you need is you need to fill in the difference, and the difference is filled in by a 24 to 70. The problem with 24 to 70s, there's not one out there, not one that I like. I don't like 24 to 70s. Because they're having to shift from wide angle to telephoto. They're not just living on one side like the 18 to 35 is going from wide to ultra wide, and then the 50 to 100 is going from telephoto to super telephoto, in a sense. When you cross over into those, there's so many elements that are in there. It makes it soft. It's odd. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. As far as, yeah, I don't know, the Canon 24 to 70 is about the best 24 to 70 that I'm aware of, and I don't like it a lot. In fact, as soon as anybody, Takina, hello Takina, you got anything coming? Comes up with a 24 to 70 that's clear, I will buy it because I don't like that one. David said, I crashed my skateboard and killed an 18 to 35. Oh man, that sucks. I understand that. And my 4.7 monitor. Oh, that also sucks. That's a lot of money. Casano says, we have companies in the area recommending different prime lenses as our next step, but you can see how we've done well with those two. Yeah. I mean, prime is great because they're fast. Prime is slow because you have to swap them out. However, one thing for you to consider is that if you have prime, if you say you built up an art series primes from Sigma, you're going to have many lenses, which means you can use all three cameras at the same time, and people will have a better choice of what lens they're going to use. You see what I'm saying? That, you know, if it's like maybe the 50 art prime, and then go from there and start building out your primes. The 40 is super nice but huge. I mean, it gives you more options, because if someone's shooting on Komodo and they're shooting on the Scarlett, and then the person with the FS 700 says, but I also need an 18 to 35, then the prime set will give you the options that way. Something to consider. And it does teach people to be a better filmmaker by using primes. It teaches them to be better, not faster, but better, because they're forced to think in constrained viewpoints, which means they have to make up for it elsewhere. Alex says, hey, Scott, just checking in. Have to run off to set, but have a great rest of your stream and the rest of your night. Thanks, Alex. You have a great morning. David says, sold my Canon 24 to 70 today. I hated that lens. Yeah, it's really tough. And I've talked to lens manufacturers and my buddy Ryan, who is Takina, and 24 to 70 is horrible to have to do. I mean, this one is a 25 to 100, and it has, I wouldn't call it the sharpest lens out there. It's a good lens. I'm not bad mouthing it at all, but because it crosses from 25 to 100, I think that's why it's ever so slightly soft. You'll see in my review, it's sharper than my 24 to 70 though. Kevin Kelly says, I'm waiting for the 25 to 75 Takina. Yeah, I know. I just wonder if it'll cover Komodo. We borrowed a 50 prime for the last trip and put it on a Sony 6400 for night shots. With 3 cameras, I'd love to get a prime. Yeah, exactly. If you started, I mean, Komodo is really good for education, I think, because it's far more affordable. So the school district is, or not school district, but whoever is holding the purse strings is able to allow you to do it more. And it's small, compact, and it can still teach you everything. So yeah. Okay. All right. It is 6 o'clock. My wife will be home any moment now, and I'm so hungry for sushi. And unless anybody has any questions, real fast, I'm going to close it out. Throw it down there real fast if you do, and I'll try to answer it before she gets home. As soon as she walks in, though, it's sushi time. Well, faux sushi, because cauliflower. Let's see here. What happened? Did I drop out in the middle? It says my live stream was going strong and then no one was joined for a period of 10 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. Would Komodo be good for a studio news cam? Yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's not going to directly compete with an actual Sony studio camera because they use a different lens standard. But the functionality, I mean, if you're using 4K SDI, I mean, yeah, I think that would be fine. And it's definitely small. Yeah. Till next time, peace and blessings. Absolutely, David. Thanks for checking in. No. Prime time. No. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Got it. All right. Everyone, you have a wonderful weekend. Go be creative. Go do something cool. Because remember, we're all creatives. What was my... I have it written down somewhere. Tim says, I would say it won't. You really want to handle with servo for operating. Well, but you could get a servo lens for it. You could buy a Fuji servo-controlled lens for that. Yeah, well, I mean, if it's an actual, like ABC News, probably not. Because they literally build camera control modules that sit in the control board where they're controlling the camera all from a board. So in that case, no. But if you're talking like a school news kind of thing, yeah, I don't see why not. Appreciate the help of the device and the education programs and lenses. Keep the updates coming. Absolutely. Thanks, Scott. It's been great. Dustin, thank you. All of that good stuff. Tim says true. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Everybody do something creative. Have some fun. I mean, if you're not going to shoot anything with film, shoot something or draw something or write something or just be creative about it because that's really what we're all about. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments down below. Do try to read and respond to each and every one. If you just say thanks, remember to subscribe and turn on that alert bell because you'll want to know when we're live next, which should be next Friday unless the internet goes down. And remember to give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you love this and you want to super chat me, sorry, let me do that again. If you love this and you want to send me some love via super chat, great, cool, do that. Also, I have a PayPal and a Patreon if you want to do that down below. All great. But as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Bye, everyone. Doo-doo-doo.